Hello everyone, today we are going to learn that how to create blank images, black images and white images and colored images, and then we will learn how to create lines, rectangles, circles and different types of shapes, and we will learn how to create text on images. So let's get started. First thing we will need is CV2 library. So we can import CV2. Import CV2, and second is we need NumPy library, which is basically handles matrices in Python. So we can import NumPy as NP. So in order to declare our blank images, what we are going to do, we are going to write down our matrix and anti-matrix of zeros. This is because your image itself is just a matrix of number. So if I have an image of 500 by 500, it just means that I have 500 by 500 values stored in a matrix. So in order to do that, we will declare our image using NumPy library. So we can write image is equal to np dot, we will use in NumPy zeros function, and we will say our size of matrix is 512 by 512, and np dot zeros and the size of our image is 512 by 512. So this has created our black image. If we run this, if we actually display this out, we can use IamShow function. So we can write cv2 dot IamShow we can declare the image After that we can give the weight key cv2 dot weight key into 0. We want to display for unlimited time, so we can give the weight key 0. So now we can print it, and here is our image of 512 by 512, which is our blank image. Now this matrix is right now is one channel. Here is one channel. We can only store either black or white color, or maybe we can store in some intensities of grayscale, but we cannot store any color. So in order to add color functionality, we will make it of 3 channels. So we can write here 3. This means that later on, if we add some on it, we can define the color for it, and we can even change the color for this whole image as well. So next, what we are going to do, we are going to see the shape of this image. Let's say we can print image dot shape. So now we can print it. Sorry, my bad. We can add 3 with the size. We can write 3 and now we can print it. So here it gives the shape of 512 by 512 image and have the 3 dimensions. Now one thing to note is if we print just image, we can replace the shape and now we can print. We can see that we see the matrices. You will see that we have our value 0, but we have a dot in front of 0. Now this dot means that the values are float, so it will have decimal places. So when we have defining colors, we don't have decimal places. We are actually using integers. So normally our values range from 0 to 255, and this is an 8-bit value. So what we need to do is we need to say that the value inside our matrix should be 8-bit integer. So we will say using numpy we need unsigned 8-bit. So we can write np dot 8-bit. So if we run this again, we will see that the dot is removed and gone and we have clean integer values. So moving on, we are going to color this whole image into a different color. For example, let's say we will choose the blue color to change the display of the image. So in order to do that, the image itself is a matrix, so we will utilize as a matrix. So we can say that image all the image is equal to our whole image. We want to convert their numbers, their channels to 255 is equal to 255 0 0. So what this we will do is this will change all the channel into blue. So now we can print it. So here we can say that our all our display is changed into blue color. Now you might thinking, why would we put this column here, this column? Now the reason for this is, if you remember from a previous video, we learned how to cropping method by just using matrix function. So if we wanted to crop image, for example from 20 to we can replace this column here and we can say from 20 to 30, and then we need to crop from 60 to 100. 60. 100. Now the this is for the limit of height and this is for the limit of width. So if I run this now, we can see that it is cropping our specific value that we give to the image. So what if we want to change the color of the whole image? We use the functionality of the column to change the color of the whole image. So we can use column here and we can change the color of the whole image. So moving on, we are going to learn how to create lines on the image. So the good thing is to that we have a function in OpenCV to actually draw some lines. So I will remove this part and comment it. Because we need black image. Now we can use the function cv2.line, cv2.line, and get the image and give the 0.1 0 0 and 0.2 is 100 by 100, and the color of image we give the color of image is green, color of line is green, so we can write 0, 255, 0, and the thickness of the line is 2. Now we can print it. Sorry, my bad, we are not giving comma here. Now we can print it, and here we can get the line here. Now we can draw a vertically line to the image, so we can replace from here to image.shape. We can replace image dot shape into 1 and image dot shape into 0. So now we can print it, and here we can get the vertically line on the whole image. So the next step is we are going to learn that how to create a rectangle using rectangle function using cv2. So we can write cv2.rectangle and we can get image, and we can give the values of 0.1, we can give 350, 100, and values of 0.2 is we can give 450 by 200, 450 by 200, and give the color of the rectangle, we can use here a red color. So we can write 0, 0, 2, 5 and 255, and the thickness of the rectangle is 2. Now we can print it. So in my bed here we can use CV2 and print it. So here we can get the image of the rectangle. So now if we want to fill all the rectangle, we can fill the color in the rectangle. Now so we can use the rectangle to fill the rectangle. We can remove the thickness and we can use CV2 dot fill. Now we can print it. So here we can successfully fill the rectangle, and we can choose any color for that purpose. The next we are going to try out is a circle. So we can draw some circle. So we can write cv2.circle. We can write cv2.circle and define the image. And we can define the center point of the circle, and we can give the value of 150 by 400, and the radius of the circle we can give 50, and after that we can define the color. We can define the color 255 0 0, and after that we can get the thickness, and now we can print it. And here we can give the circle, get the circle. So if we also want to fill the circle, we remove the thickness and we can use the cv2.fill function. So we can use cv2, we can use cv2.fill and print it. So here our circle is filled, but we just need a circle, don't need to fill it because we already filled the rectangle. Now we can give the thickness of the circle, which is 2, and after that and last thing for today is text. We have cv2 dot put text, and define the image, and the text to display. We can separate it, and today our lecture is about to draw shapes, and we can write draw shapes. And after that we can define the starting position of this text. So we can write 75 by 50, 75 by 50, and after that we can get the font. See to have already some fonts, so we can try font. We can choose anyone from it, so I am using first one. And after choosing the font, we can of font. We can select the scale of font, so we can write 1. The scale is 1. And after that we can give the color of the text. So we can give the color 0, 150, 0, and after that the thickness of the text, which is 3. And now we can print. Here so CV2, the CV2, and here we can separate from comma, and now we can print. So here is our text, draw shapes, and we can successfully draw the text, circle, rectangle, and line, and blank image, empty image. So this is it for today. I hope you have learned something new, and I will see you in the next video.